Dani Johnson was homeless at 21 and became a multi-millionaire by 23. She's a success coach with thousands of clients. She teaches top executives who make millions of dollars running huge companies how to make even more money and be more productive. But you don't have to be a big shot executive to get her pearls of wisdom. We got them for you free of charge right here. Dani, welcome to the show. Great outfit. We got the power red going.
Dani Johnson is a very vibrant, alive, young lady that the Lord has raised to help the body of Christ come out of death and a whole lot more.
Joining me right now is a new friend, somebody you've never been here to TBN, been on behind the scenes before. Dani Johnson, welcome, sweetheart. How are you?
Thank you.
You want to sit down, open up your heart, be ready to be challenged, excited, and blessed. Dani Johnson is with us today.
And discuss spiritual truths and success secrets that will change your life. You don't want to miss this one.
This is almost the ultimate rags to riches story, is it not?
I came from welfare. I was pregnant at 17. I was homeless at 21 and a millionaire at 23. I grew up in a home where my parents were complete drug addicts. My father was 6'10", 350 pounds and violently abusive. I was in every way you could imagine abused, from physically, emotionally, sexually abused from the time I was 3 until I was 16. Moved out of the house when I was 16 because of it. I heard every wicked thing you could imagine. I was called every wicked name you could imagine. I was told I was stupid, ugly, fat. I was never going to amount to anything, and you'll never do anything right. You'll never succeed at anything. And I wholeheartedly believed what he said to me. When I was 17, I got pregnant by the deacon's son, and you can imagine how well that went over. It didn't go over well at all, but it was a horrible thing, and I walked away from God at 18 because of the judgment of the people in the church. And I said, God, if I have to be anything like your people, I want nothing to do with you. Yes, and so I went straight into the metaphysical world, and for 5 years I went into that world. And in the meantime of those 5 years, because of the kind of person that I was, looking for acceptance in all the wrong places, met and married a man in 7 days. Ran off to Hawaii, which was beyond stupid. Ran off to Hawaii with this person I barely even knew, and he wound up taking off with everything. Bank account, credit cards. I wound up with $35,000 debt, 50 pounds overweight, just completely destitute in every way. I literally was suicidal. Sure. I had everything in the back of my trunk. I had no money coming in and no way of getting any money. And so at a beach party on December 24th, I did 1 line of cocaine, my first and only line of cocaine. And the next day we were at another beach party, and I was fiending for it, Paul. I would have given anything. I had hit such a low point that everything in my body craved for another line of cocaine. So I'm searching for it all over the place, and people are looking at me like I was crazy, and I was frustrated. I went into the ocean, and I dove underneath this big wave and came up. And mind you that I'm fiending for cocaine as I step into the water. I come up out underneath the wave, and I hear a voice that says, pick up your mat and walk. I grabbed my belongings. I left. People were saying, where are you going? I said, I'm out of here. Got into my car to drive to the beach that I had been living on, and had this conversation going on in my head. And at the time, not knowing, it was the Lord speaking to me. This is not the life that was intended for you. Your life is not intended to be mediocre and to be a failure. The other side speaking death over me. You failure, you loser. Look what you've done. You're doing drugs. Your family hated you. Your husband hated you. You're never going to amount to anything. You might as well just kill yourself now. The other side speaking hope and promise. The very next day, I started a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth with nothing. I had absolutely nothing. Found a product that I could license. Made $2,000 the first 10 hours on a payphone booth out of the trunk of my car. The next 30 hours made $6,500. My first 45 days made $18,000 $100,000 cash from nothing. And then first year made $250,000. By the end of my second year, I'd made my first million. Since then, made millions and millions and millions of dollars in business. Also started a training and management company where I trained up other business people as well as people that weren't in business, just people that wanted to improve their lives, learning people skills and marketing skills, and moms learning how to raise their children. And I have 5 children. I've got 2 grandchildren. And so after
that's amazing.
I know.
That's amazing.
It blows my
Let's
mind,
say
too.
that again. 5 children.
5 babies, 2 grandchildren.
What a blessing. That's your greatest wealth. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
It is. My whole focus has always been about grooming people up to succeed because of where I come from.
Yeah.
I came from welfare. I was pregnant at 17. I was homeless at 21 and a millionaire at 23. And so with coming from where I came from, it was so simple for me to just do a few things and to become very successful. When I first started, it wasn't about how much money could I make fast so I could get out of living out of my car. It truly was about who can I create success and results for now. And I did so. And that's been truly the biggest part of our marketing plan from day one. Who can we help to succeed? Who can we help get results with whatever product or service that it is that we offer? In just 4 years, collected 100,000 clients. Within our first year, we wound up going out on a Saturday night and I started preaching the word on a Saturday night because it's a 2-day seminar. And I equip people biblically. They don't know it's the Bible when they first come in the door by any stretch of the imagination, where we are cloaked in everything that the world desires. They want success. They want to make money. They want to be happy. And that is what we teach them how to do. We teach them specifics and strategic points in marketing. We teach them strategic points in communication skills and relationship marketing. I believe that it doesn't matter where you come from. I believe that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter what your parents did or didn't do. It doesn't matter what you've done or didn't do. My God is a redeemer, and it doesn't matter because the future is what is at hand for us. So oftentimes what we do with our lives is we don't take any responsibility at all for where we're at. Either for example, in the Christian world, we blame the devil for half of the things or the consequences that we've caused in our own lives. Seed that we've sown that has not been seed that has been properly sown or put in the right places. Whether we've sown greed without knowing it, whether we've sown competition in a way that is not healthy, whether we have sown hatred and malice and jealousy or judgment or criticism, condemnation or bitterness, we have all done these things without even knowing it. It's almost as though it's just fruit that's fallen out of us all over the place, and we don't even take a moment to look at it. We're so busy looking at everybody else's fruit and not taking responsibility. So for example, right now, if you were in a job...
You are really good. You are good. I like that. Keep going. I'm listening.
Marketplace pays for value. One size fits all for success. And I truly believe this because the truth is people are not loyal to products. They are loyal to people. And it's the person that has the ability to pull the best out in others, the ability to make great relationships with their clients as well as with the public are the ones in a recession that are going to be truly recession proof. You'll be the #1 recommended person for whatever it is that you do based on how you do it, people. Your heathen competitors, my brothers and sisters in the marketplace, your heathen competitors are out there collecting all those profits. And where are they taking it? Into the kingdom of darkness of pornography and greed and gluttony and lust and seduction. But God, if he can trust you with that money and you have the skill sets to do it, then guess what? That money is coming into the kingdom of heaven and building and developing the kingdom of heaven. I believe wholeheartedly that God will raise up those who are ready and available, that want to know and understand his laws and his truth concerning the marketplace, concerning success, concerning being promoted, concerning getting out of debt, concerning being financially free, and having flourishing relationships with your spouse and your children, not to mention grooming those children up to succeed instead of grooming them for mediocrity and grooming them for failure, but instead teaching them God's principles. But the point is this, that we equip people not only how to manage their money, not only how to pay off debt no matter if they increase their income or not, we also teach them how to manage their time. People are working harder than they've ever worked, but are further in debt than they've ever been. And that's not godly, it's not right, it is not God's will for anybody's life to sacrifice their kids for their stupid big house or for their big fancy car. It is not what is in the will of God for any of us. Whatever circumstance you're going through right now, this is not for any other reason but to have God work a miracle in your life, that you would be one that would influence other people because of what God has brought you through, just as I'm talking to you right now. Because if I still was homeless, if I still was overweight, if I still was the pathetic failure that I was, I would not have the influence that I have here right now. And so I believe that whatever you're going through, just as Joseph went through something, Joseph was in a pit, that was for design. I believe it was for a testimony to come out and say, look what God brought me through. I believe that God has something for you. That's why you're watching this right now.
Right.
Please step up, get up, do something, and don't stay the same. That's not where you're supposed to be.